Now, obviously, foldable phones aren't for everybody, but I think if you were to grab one, then this might be the one that most people should grab. This is the Galaxy Z Fold 8. And without wasting any more time, we're just gonna get straight into this guy because I'm super excited. So as I said, it's the Z Fold 8. I have it here in the lavender colorway, and we're just gonna pop this open. This is the 256 gig storage variant. So let's go ahead, throw the box off. And this is what we've got here. Hopefully you can see that on the B cam. As always, apologies, my B cam is the Osmo Pocket 3, so if it doesn't look too great, that's why I need you guys to subscribe, because I need to replace that. Anyhow, as I said, this is the Z Fold 8 in the lavender colorway. I believe this is the Hero colorway. Here it is there on the A cam. And taking it out of the box, it is extremely light. Before I forget, let me just make sure that I've grabbed everything out of said box. Inside here, the usual stuff, USB C to C cable, there you go, and then a SIM ejector tool. Nothing really special. Fantastic. Let's move on to the phone, because this thing honestly looks amazing. For those of you who are spec heads, this is a 12 gigabyte of memory, and it also has the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 for Galaxy. So let's go ahead and get this peeled off there. And I'm not gonna lie, I took it out of the box a bit earlier because I was kind of excited and I need to get some quick snaps for Instagram. So that's why you can kind of see one or two smudges there already. And then the outer display here, peel that off. And then this is what we're left with. So this phone, honestly, it feels so good to hold this in your hands. You can see just how thin it is here. The weight of it is actually 201 grams. Like, it is very, very light. The outer display, let's power this on. So the outer display here is a 5.5 inch display. And as you can tell, they've made some very drastic changes to the overall form factor of this foldable, which is why a lot of people will probably gravitate towards this one here. People have been calling it a passport style foldable phone. Samsung, by the way, is not the first to do this. Or have been other companies that have attempted. But the reason why they call it passport style is because here is my passport. And as you can see, it is pretty much the exact same size, or very close to the same size and dimensions as a passport would be, which lends itself to a very comfortable hold. And then also being able to have all of your content on screen in a very practical manner. So as we were saying, the outside display is a 5.5 inch display with a 10:16 aspect ratio, if I'm not mistaken. And then when you open it up, wow, it's like almost spring loaded when you open it. It's just boom. So when you open this up, you have I believe it's 7.6 inch display, and the aspect ratio on the inside is a 4:3. So again, it lends itself to a very comfortable viewing experience when it comes to watching content and things like that. I think this is probably going to be what this gets talked about for the most, is that it's a very compact and also very practical device for consumption. Whether that's a good thing or not, I don't want to say. It depends on you, what you like to do. If you're someone that loves doom scrolling, then probably this is going to be the device for you when it comes to the choice of Flip 8 versus Fold 8 versus Fold 8 Ultra. So a couple more things just about this outer display here and just the displays in general. So you're still going to get that 120 hertz display. On the outside display here, you're also getting that anti-reflective coating. So if I were to put this beside, I know the iPhone kind of tries to have an anti-reflective coating. It's still nowhere as good as Samsung's are. So it does have that anti-reflective coating. It also has Corning Gorilla Glass to kind of minimize the amount of scratches that you get on that outer display. And then on top of that, they have what they call aluminum armor, which is protecting the rails of the phone. When you open it up, you can still see that little crease right here. It is actually very hard to feel it. My only other foldable that I've used aside from this, and also the Fold 7, is the Pixel Fold. And the Pixel Fold has a very prominent crease. I don't know if you can see it there on camera. I'll try to, there you go. If we tilt it, you can see like the crease there is crazy. And it also, you can feel it very much so when you rub your finger over it. Whereas this guy here, they said they've made a very direct effort to not only minimize the visual aspect of that crease, but also being able to feel it. So they put in some like micro like super thin titanium sheets, two of them allegedly, inside of the display. So it's got these crazy layers, and that is meant to minimize the crease and also the formation of the crease over time. Flipping over to the back of the Fold 8 here, you're probably wondering about those two cameras. So it does have a dual 50 megapixel camera system. I mean, I've seen people take a couple photos with this already. If you've not seen Airbazoo on Instagram, he's taken some incredible photos with this camera system. Is it going to be as good as the Ultra phones? No, but at the end of the day, if you're someone that kind of edits your photos in Lightroom or does any like slight adjustments or tweaks, then I think you're going to be more than happy with the outer cameras. The front display camera, that selfie camera, however, is a 10 megapixel selfie. And then when you open it up, you have another 10 megapixel selfie camera on the inside right there, just on top. So dual 10 megapixel selfie cams. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and set this phone up. My plan is, and don't worry, I'm not going to do one of those I'm switching from iPhone to Android video. Typically for me though, my iPhone, so this is the 17 Pro Max, is my go-to personal phone. And then the S26 Ultra, like I always have an Android phone with my business SIM in it. But for this go here, I'm going to keep my business SIM in the S26 Ultra, and I'm going to put my personal SIM in this phone right here and just get like the ultimate amount of reps in and just see exactly how good it is, how practical it is. And to do so, my plan is not to transfer anything over from my S26. So I'm just going to start with a completely fresh setup of the Fold 8 and kind of take it from there, put the apps on that I actually need to avoid any bloat. So as I was saying, with this hinge, somebody had mentioned it earlier. I believe Will Bowers mentioned it on Instagram when he was comparing this hinge to the hinge of the Fold 8 Ultra. He was saying how the Fold 8 Ultra has a very sturdy hinge, so it feels more so like it's meant to be opened and kind of stopped at various different points, whereas this one is like spring-loaded. Once you get to a certain point, it just pops itself open, gravity or not, it just does it on its own, as you can see. So I feel like this is meant to be either fully shut or completely open. Like you wouldn't use it in a sort of clamshell mode like a lot of people have done with the other folding phones. This one is one or the other. You're either all in or you're not. This is what you can expect from Instagram. As you can see, everything kind of just fits the screen almost perfectly on this outer display here. Like the aspect ratio is essentially perfect for just everything that you have in feed. If I click on a reel and actually open it up, then that's what you can expect. But then the experience when you open it up is still kind of wonky. So as you can see, it kind of started full screen and then now it's kind of slimmed itself down to something like this. So it keeps doing that where it readjusts itself and then does like the 9:16 that we're used to. Maybe if I turn it, nope. Yeah, I don't know. So that's kind of a little bug here that I see with IG where it starts off huge and then automatically kind of fits itself down still. So maybe this app still needs to be sort of optimized. Like maybe IG still needs to be optimized for the inner display of this guy here. That's kind of strange. Let's see how it does with YouTube. So again, jumping on YouTube with the outer display looks nice. Everything fits kind of clean. The thumbnails show up in a way that I think looks really nice again with this overall aspect ratio. Keep saying ratio, aspect ratio. Okay, so if we click on a video, MKBHD's video, as you can see here, same idea as what we're used to. Video goes up here. All the other info is kind of down there. However, if we were to full screen this, then it turns itself automatically. You still have those bars on the upper and lower portion of the screen. And then when it's opened up fully like this and the video is full screen, you still do have those bars on the top and the bottom, but they're far smaller than what we were used to seeing on like the Fold 7 or the Pixel Fold, for example. Someone out there is probably saying, well, why don't you just fill the screen as you normally would on YouTube? So you could just pinch and zoom in and have it kind of fill like this if you wanted to. I don't typically watch YouTube videos like this because you do tend to kind of miss out on some of the frame. But if that is what you're into, then you can absolutely fill the screen. So let's hear the speakers.
to try to keep them off the base pass. And
so yeah, the speakers sound good, but this is what I was talking about just here. So looking at this video, if you try to look at the scoreboard down in the bottom corner there, you can see that it is slightly cut off. So you'd never actually want to watch a video like that, at least not in my opinion. I hate watching videos full screen like that. Like I said, I typically pinch them and I just deal with the little black borders on the top and bottom. Honestly, I'm not even gassing this up. I feel like I would even take a phone that didn't unfold, like a non-folding phone that just had this aspect ratio. I think that I would take this. I feel like this is like peak display. You know what I mean? I don't know how else to explain it other than it just works and looks good. That being said though, I think most people will just gravitate towards watching their content on this front display just because I think it looks good. It fills the majority of the screen and it's just a lot more comfortable than I'm used to seeing on those larger tablet style screens. All right, so the very last thing that I wanted to test out while I still have the chance is quickly taking a look at the cameras here. So like we said, we have that 50 megapixel wide and 50 megapixel ultra wide. So just taking a quick shot of my setup, what I'm looking at right now. I'll put a picture of that up on screen so that you guys can see. And while we're at it, I'm going to take a picture of this dope 3D printed Gengar that I have here. And let's just see what that looks like completely unedited. Boom. And then I'll flip around to that selfie display, which the selfie I can already tell you is going to be, actually it doesn't look bad on the viewfinder, but I feel like it's just going to be brutal, but let's see. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Like I said, this is the Fold 8. I'm going to be throwing my SIM card from my iPhone into this guy here and kind of going just full Galaxy ecosystem for the time being. I've already got the Buds Pro, which are so good. If you've not tried these out, these are excellent earbuds, way better than AirPods Pro in my humble opinion. And I also have here, which I don't know if I can switch to this one because I'm just so used to Apple Watch, but I've got the Galaxy Watch 9, just like the base model. I'm going to do my best to use this guy and see how it functions with this whole ecosystem setup. It's going to be hard getting rid of my Apple Watch Ultra. I know that. But anyhow, again, that is the brand new Samsung Galaxy Fold 8 in the lavender colorway, 256 gig. I'm going to be dropping a lot of videos on this guy here. So if that's something that you're interested in, feel free to tap in. As always, hit that subscribe button, leave a thumbs up or thumbs down if you hated the video. I appreciate it either way. But that is pretty much it from me. Much love as always. Stone up 2 of them. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.